Welcome to Vsb News Online for Tuesday, August 4th. I'm Peter Kitzel. Over the past week, there have been 4 reports of a male suspect riding alongside other motorcycle riders and snatching their chains. The crimes were committed at various times of the day in Paget, Pembroke, and Devonshire, with a white motorcycle being used each time. The police are asking for the public, especially those riding on cycles, to conceal items of jewelry and to be vigilant when traveling on the roads. Any suspicious behavior should be reported to police, and where possible, the vehicle plate and rider's details should be noted. Chefs from 40 local restaurants are gearing up for tomorrow's launch of the Bermuda Best Fish Sandwich competition. Charles Webb went to the Bermuda Tourism Authority launch at the Chamber of Commerce and sends this report.
The search is on for Bermuda's best fish sandwich, and you can almost smell the heat of the toasting bread and the ingredients that will comprise Bermuda's best. Tonka Simpson of the Seaside Grill on the North Shore gives his interpretation of what makes an excellent Bermuda fish sandwich.
Excellent Bermuda fish sandwich consists of fresh bread made daily and good tasting fish. Obviously, every restaurant has their own recipe, so that's the key.
Now you're on the North Shore, so I guess you do try to get local fish, do you?
We try to, but at times it's hard with the weather and prices of fish, so we do have to use foreign fish at times. I feel confident. We have a great business at Seaside. We sell a lot of fish sandwiches and a lot of fish every day.
I must confess to being a tad wary about Muse restaurant chef Answorth Davis' fish sandwich on a bun. Why a bun, one might well ask.
Well, a sandwich is a sandwich, so let's start with that. But I'm glad that they're actually calling it a Bermuda fish sandwich competition and not what kind of fish sandwich, because a lot of places do have items or dishes that are made with different items, but it's still the tradition that we're trying to actually get across, which is to actually use any form of fish that you favor within your bun. Now, my bun is from a sesame whole wheat bun, and what actually adds a twist to it is actually a tartar sauce, which is traditional, but it's actually a gombe tartar sauce. So it's just basic snapper that you catch off the rock or whatever for me, seasoned, floured, battered, or if you want to call it, fried. And then on your gombe spread bun, we then have something that actually adds another appeal to it, which is the escabeche pickled vegetable. It's a little bit salt, a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, and a little bit tangy, and that actually will actually add the extra edge.
The sandwich with whole wheat bread got my attention, and Chef Joseph Marable of Cafe Olé at the Crystal Caves puts it in perspective.
One with whole wheat and one with raisin, which I think is very popular. We get a lot of requests for raisin toast, whole wheat. Some with grilled, which is what we do, and some fried. We do both.
Now, did you have a name for your sandwich?
No particular name.
Is the fish grilled, sautéed, or fried?
We do both, actually. The presentation today was one was grilled and one was fried. One we did with coleslaw. We find a lot of locals prefer coleslaw. The grill one, someone that may be, a little more health conscious, doesn't want anything fried, we'll have both. We also do salads as well, so with grilled and fried wahoo.
So how do you feel about your ranking in the competition?
Well, I would like to think, that we'll do very well. I would like to hope so. I mean, there's a lot of competition, so we'll see what Bermuda thinks.
If I had one disappointment after perusing all these delicious sandwiches, it would have to be that there was nothing representing the latest crave, lionfish. So, Chris Garland of the Chamber of Commerce Restaurant Division, how about a lionfish sandwich? For Vsb News, I'm Charles Webb.
Bermuda will have to be patient if it thinks it has earned the rights to 2 major concessions from the European Union: removal from the blacklist of uncooperative domiciles, and the ability for its fund managers to sell their products in Europe for the first time. Brian Darby has the story.
You may recall the dismay that enveloped Bermuda's leaders earlier this year when the European Commission placed Bermuda on a blacklist of uncooperative jurisdictions because 12 countries, many of whom had tax treaties with Bermuda, had inexplicably given us the thumbs down. Finance Minister Bob Richards flew to Brussels to sort that one out, and when the dust had settled, 2 countries, Poland and Latvia, had removed Bermuda from their lists. Minister Richards asked the European Commissioner to immediately delist Bermuda from the blacklist, but the reply was that there would be no revised European Commission list until sometime between September and December. That was the first disappointing news. The second came on July the 30th when the European Securities and Markets Authority agreed to issue so-called trading passports to non-European countries that would enable their investment fund managers to manage and market funds within the EU. Instead of being among the first considered, Bermuda had been delegated to a second string of applicants to be considered in due course when Guernsey, Jersey, Switzerland, the United States, Hong Kong and Singapore are given first refusal. Putting a brave face on the situation, Sean Moran of the Bermuda Business Development Agency said that as a premier jurisdiction with a highly respected reputation, Bermuda would surely be favorably considered for passport rights in a subsequent stage of the assessment process, and was committed to seeing it through. Further amendments to the Bermuda Investment Business Act, which will help Bermuda's chances, will be debated next Monday when the House of Assembly meets for 1 day. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
When Sandra Cortina Beach wakes up on the morning of October 9th, she will be the first female commandant of the Bermuda Reserve Police. The change of command ceremony takes place the day before, 20 years after she joined the service, having fulfilled many roles along the way. Charles Webb asked her if she ever contemplated this rise to the top.
When I first joined the reserves, I planned on doing 5 years and getting out of the service. But of course, within the time of joining and loving the service, I managed to continue on going, moving to other divisions in the service, Marine Section. I was in charge of Marine Section, the East, West, Central operation. My main goal for the reserves is basically to just get everybody to work together and to help out the community and to assist the Bermuda Police Service as much as I can.
How do you feel your role will differ from all those men that preceded you?
I don't think my role is going to be any different. I may just have a challenge when it comes to being the first woman for the, I wouldn't say the respect, but you know, sometimes you find that men don't like to deal with women into power. But I've worked with a few of the gentlemen for many years, so I'm just hoping that they will, I'm sure that they will help me and support me within my career of being the first commandant woman.
Well, what are some of the, like, what would you say would be job number 1 for you?
Job number 1 will be my administration. The administration, I feel, is the most important role in any organization. Once I get my administration up to power the way I would like to have it, and then we could move on to other divisions. The most challenging part of the organization would be to try to keep the organization running smooth and to keep the training for our officers, make sure they're up to par with their training.
Now, your name is Sandra Cortina Beach. How do you respond when people call you Sandy Beach?
Well, one of the gentlemen I know, he says an exotic name as Sandy Beach. So I try to say my name as Sandra first, because when they ask me for my second name, I have to say beach, like Sandy Beach. Wow, you know, where did you get that name from? So I try to use Sandra first before I say Sandy.
At this point in time, residents of Bermuda have no legal rights to privacy, unlike the citizens in most other countries. But that is about to change. A draft bill called the Personal Information Protection Act is in the consultation stage, and this week the public will have the opportunity to ask it questions. Nancy Voleski, Director of Privacy and Data Protection in the Department of E-Commerce, explains.
There's a number of issues. One is that with the introduction of PADI, of course, the requirement for privacy becomes paramount. In addition, other jurisdictions have been hit with various privacy misuses, and Bermuda has been lucky to a point that we haven't had to deal with some of the issues that have existed in other jurisdictions. Basically, what we're talking about with PIPA is the fact that organizations, in order to provide services like banks or the government or even the clubs we belong to, they need to use our personal information. And while it's reasonable for them to hold our personal information, it's also reasonable for us as individuals to have some control over how they intend to use our personal information. And that's called the right to informational privacy. And many countries have adopted legislation regarding informational privacy rights. And the minister has been extremely concerned about the lack of privacy in Bermuda, and so has done an enormous effort so that PIPA will be introduced. And before the legislation is completely developed, we have created a framework called the PIPA draft model, which outlines the principles for privacy and respecting people's informational privacy rights. And so this is presently out for consultation, the draft.
On Thursday and Friday, you're going to give the public a chance?
That's correct. So the consultation period runs from July 10th through to August 17th. And during that time, we have a website, www.privacy.bm, and the draft model and other documents and information about privacy are on the website. Or you can contact the Department of E-commerce 294-2774 for the same information. We have opened up for public consultation, and we are asking people if they wish to submit comments that they do so in writing, accompanied by a submission form, which is also available at the department or on the website. Now, the purpose of the information sessions that we're holding this week, the first one is on Thursday at Ruth Seton James from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And the second is on Friday, the 7th of August at Wesley Methodist Church from 12 to 1. And what we're doing is presenting the framework and explaining the contents of the framework and answering any questions that the public may have.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
In an effort to make Bermuda's roads safer, and in partnership with Bermuda Police Service and the Bermuda Road Safety Council, DeFon's Broadcasting is launching a safe driving campaign. Complete with thumb bands, come into DeFon's Broadcasting and 94 Reed Street and make the commitment to drive safer and slower for yourself. Your voice could be featured on the radio. Get yourself a thumb band as a reminder of your commitment to drive safer and with fewer distractions. While you're at it, why not get one for someone in your life who also needs a reminder that our roads do not discriminate. They can take anyone's life. Let's drive safe, Bermuda, and arrive alive. Peace and love. Safe journeys.
The Bermuda National Dance Foundation handed out $47,500 today in bursaries and scholarships to 9 local dancers, bringing to $1 million the funding awarded since 2005. The foundation's deputy chairman, Brian O'Hara, recognized Dara Palmer, Judea Bailey, and Sasha Dill for bursaries, Shadrino Hassel and Rikai Scott for professional development grants, and major $7,500 scholarships to Taylor Rayton, Aaron Beach, and Jada Pierman. The top award of $15,000 went to Marcus Smith. It is not often that one of the local banks wins a senior executive officer away from a rival bank, but it has happened with Butterfield Bank's announcement that Michael Schrum, currently CFO at HSBC Bermuda, will be joining it on September 21st as Group Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Schrum, who has more than 20 years of financial services experience in London, New York, and Bermuda, mainly in banking, insurance, and tax, joined HSBC in 2001 and worked his way up to his current post. He is a director of Ascendant Group, treasurer of the Bermuda Community Foundation, and current chairman of Pathways Bermuda. He replaces John Magagrilano, who relocated to Canada at the end of July after more than 13 years with Butterfield. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
Julian Fletcher began taking part in FINA's World Aquatics Championships in Kazakhstan, Russia. During the men's 100-meter breaststroke preliminaries, Fletcher finished 52nd overall with a time of 103.80, missing out on the Bermuda men's 100-meter breaststroke national record by 4/100th of a second. Fletcher was competing in Heat 4, where he finished second, swimming in lane 1. Bermuda Healthcare Services Limited and Brown Darrow Clinic announced that Somerset Cricket Club outstanding cricketer Derek Brangman is the Cup Match 2015 Safe Hands Award recipient. Making today's announcement was Dr. Rennie from Bermuda Healthcare Services.
Bermuda Healthcare Services and Brown Darrow Clinic are pleased to announce the 2015 Safe Hands Award recipient, Somerset all-rounder Derek Brangman. His performance at Wellington Oval was capped off with a diving catch that sent St. George's wicketkeeper Christian Burgess back to the bench. Derek Brangman's catches, bowling and batting played a major role in Somerset's historic win in St. George's. He is the 10th Somerset player to have won the award since its inception in 1998. As the winner of the Safe Hands Award, Mr. Brangman will receive a $1,000 check and a $1,000 travel voucher from World View Travel and a trophy.
Established in 1998, the Safe Hands Awards is presented to the Cup Match player whose catching performance contributes to the most of his team's success. Brangman becomes the 10th Somerset Cricket Club player to win the Safe Hands Award. Brangman, fielding at mid-on, took a spectacular diving catch to dismiss Christian Burgess off the bowling of Malachi Jones in the St. George's second inning. Brangman explained the catch.
Well, I really didn't think I was going to get there. I was just going to stop the boundary at first. But as I was going to run, I got closer and closer to it, and I started coming down closer. I just took a chance, man.
On the first day, early in the match, a couple of balls were dropping short of you. It looked like you was unlucky.
Yeah.
Did you feel as if eventually one would come?
No.
Get your hands on it?
Well, actually, it happened 3 times, so there was all hard chances. And I was really disappointed, to be honest, because I really couldn't get there. And I really wanted to take the catch, but that's all it goes. It's cricket. And you stay in there, stick with it, and things happen for you.
Bermudian rower Shelley Pearson will be starting her MBA at Oxford this coming September and embarking on her 10th year of competitive rowing. Her major goal for next year is to qualify for the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. We asked Pearson what it would mean to her and her family to fly the Bermuda flag in Brazil.
It means a lot. Obviously this past year we were the first woman to row on the Tideway, and I would also be the first woman to row for Bermuda, which is pretty exciting to sort of carry that on. I've always looked up to Jimmy Butterfield and what he's done, and he's the only one to have ever rowed for Bermuda, and so it sort of feels to me like this culmination of all of this rowing experience that I've had, and it would be such an honor to be able to take that forward to, fly the Bermuda flag there. I'm going to try to qualify at the Latin America Games, which are in March, and I have to get top 6 there in order to qualify a boat for Rio in 2016.
The East All-Stars are the 2015 Under-14 XL Foundation Summer Youth League All-Star champions following action at St. John's Field last evening. The West were restricted to 79 for 5 in their allotted 50 overs, with Jagai Bailey their top scorer on 23 not out. Janico Seeley added 16 runs. Sancho Jackson led the East All-Stars with bowling figures of 4 overs, 2 for 12. In reply, the East All-Stars scored 81 for 5 in 18 overs. Ian Smith was the top scorer with 16, while Jabari Darrow added 13. Malachi Trott and Logan Jones both scored 10 runs with Jones not out. Seeley was the pick of the West bowlers with figures of 3 overs, 2 for 11. Jaden Manders had the play of the game for the West with a return catch, while Jackson took a return catch for the play of the game for the East. Bailey was named the West MVP, while Smith was named the East MVP. A new squash event will get underway on Thursday at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club as the inaugural Codnersdale and Pearman Squash Tournament will take place. Over 50 competitors will take part in 3 divisions over 3 days of competition, including junior players as young as 12 up to more experienced players in their 60s. The top of the A division sees the continued rivalry of the island's 2 top coaches in Patrick Foster and Kristen Johnson. They are seeded to meet in a repeat of the Bermuda National Championships final of earlier this year when Foster came out on top. The 2015 Elbow Beach Tennis Challenge will begin on Tuesday, August 11th and run through Saturday, August 15th. Matches will be getting underway at 5:30 p.m. daily at the Elbow Beach tennis courts. There will be singles, doubles, and mixed doubles divisions. The teams will be confirmed on Saturday, August 8th. In the women's ranking order, it would see Tyler Smith ranked number 1, Kayla Cross 2nd, Jacqueline Lambert 3rd, and Zaire Simmons 4th. The men's ranking order includes Gavin Manders as number 1, David Thomas as number 2, Jensen Bascom as number 3, and Neil Towson number 4. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Wednesday, August 5th, there will be sunny periods with an early shower or two and a chance of thunder. Winds will be southerly, light to moderate. We are expecting a high near 86 Fahrenheit and a low near 76 Fahrenheit. This weather report is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Tuesday, August 4th. I'm Peter Kitzel.